why you can't understand TV and movies without subtitles. So this, I think, is a really, really common problem with language learners. And the reality is that you're not actually really doing anything to solve the issue of you not being able to understand content without subtitles. So that's what we're going to talk about now, how you can actually do that and make progress without the frustration. The problem is pretty simple, which is that your skill in listening is not as advanced as the skill required to understand the media you're consuming. So for example, if you're watching a YouTube video with subtitles, you're not advanced enough as a listener in the language to understand what is going on without subtitles. It's too difficult. There's a gap in how good you are. And the solution is to obviously become better so you can be at the level where you can understand what's going on, which is easier said than done. So what you need to do in the meantime is you're basically using subtitles as a crutch. If you think about someone with a crutch, they can't walk properly, obviously. So what they're doing is they're using something to actually help them walk. That's kind of like you with language learning. So now that we understand what's going on, I'm going to actually talk about how you can improve. So something I want to point out straight away is that even if you aren't particularly advanced in the foreign language you're learning, certain words probably jump out to you. So if you're learning a language and you're maybe even been doing it for only a few weeks, whenever you hear the word hello or the word I, for example, or imagine it's French if you're not learning French. If someone said bonjour in French dialogue, you would know what that word means and it would jump out to you, even though it's just blah, 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 you have no idea what everything else is. And the reason for that is because you've actually built a strong neural connection for that word. It's the same with your own name. Someone could be talking in English and you're not really listening. As soon as they say your name, you actually pick up on that because the neural connection is way stronger. So what you actually need to do to become better at listening in the foreign language is build those connections for all of the words you might hear. And once you've done that, you're actually able to listen in a foreign language, kind of like how you're listening to me now, where even if you weren't paying 100% attention, you would still be able to understand what I'm saying simply because you have those neural connections built and you can understand the words that I'm saying. So the solution is to basically encounter unknown words and lock them into your long-term memory and strengthen the neural connection so that you're able to listen efficiently without having subtitles on. So first, if we're learning words we don't know, we can't magically know them. So we need to find a way of actually learning these words. So if you're listening to something, for example, say you watch a 5-minute YouTube vlog with subtitles, what you can do is you can watch it and you can make a list of all the words you don't know just from the subtitles, and then you can translate them if you need to, or if you've got English subtitles, you might be able to figure out what word means what. I've already made a video on the input repetition method, and I'll have it pop up on the screen right now, but I'd highly recommend you check that out for this kind of thing. But effectively, what we're doing is we're making a vocab list of words we don't know and translating them so that we can put them into flashcards and memorize them. And then what will happen is you will become better. But one thing I will point out now is that even if you know a word, so say you translate a word from a foreign language, you still might not be able to recognize it. So if someone's talking at top speed in a foreign language, and even if you know half of the words they're saying, you might not actually be able to understand what they're saying because they are speaking at such a fast speed that you're not able to recognize it quick enough before they've moved on. So what we need to actually do is also improve your ability of listening at a fast speed, and that's done through repetition. So here's what I'd recommend you do after this video. 1, make sure you are listening to content that you don't fully understand. Try to keep it at a comprehensive input level, so stuff that isn't ridiculously difficult, but have it at a level where it's kind of difficult, but you do understand some things that are going on. At least 10 to 20% I think is ideal. And then 2, you would be making flashcards from the words you don't know and memorizing them. 3, you would be increasing the amount you're actually listening. Even if it is difficult to listen to, you are actually becoming better by forcing yourself to do it, even with subtitles. That's completely fine. You can use it as a crutch. And then, over time, you will find you actually do get better. You can use a habit tracker if you want. That's what I have sitting here right now to basically make sure I am being consistent with listening every single day. And I'd highly recommend you also have some way of tracking your progress. So you can reconsume something every week that you've listened to, and you can actually document how much better you get at it. And the final thing I will say is targeting. So if you are, for example, watching videos on cooking as a random example, what you can do is you can learn those words and you can continue watching videos on the same topic, and you'll find that similar words actually keep popping up, and so you're able to further lock those words into your long-term memory because you're continually exposed to it. But overall, the too long didn't listen is basically you just need to keep listening to things, and over time you will become better, and make sure you are actually learning the words you don't understand so that you can understand more of what's going on. If you don't understand what's going on, it's because you don't know the words and you're not good enough at listening at that speed. That is literally the problem, and I've explained how to solve it. So if you need any help, comment below. I've got a link in the description to the Language Learning Accelerator, which is my course. Thank you for watching, and have a good one.